Okay, this is Gizmo, and we have her out of her cage. The reason I think it's a she is the pores on the bottom of her thighs. See the little line that runs down the middle of her thigh? They're very small, and I guess with the males, those pores are really big and obvious. They also get slowly as they get older, they get more and more fat pads right here behind the eyes, and I don't see it even slightly happening to her, so pretty sure Gizmo is a girl. This is what she does when I take her out of her cage. She plays dead lizard. See, we're playing dead lizard. La, la, la. The indignity. She's okay. She still does her little run, but she seems to be getting a little bit more relaxed. See, she's dead. She's dead. Oh my goodness, look at her. She's completely and utterly dead. Gizmo. See if we can get her to swim. It's okay. See if we can get Lizard to swim. Isn't that amazing? No, dead lizard. Yeah, she's dead. Oh no. Dead lizard. Dead lizard. Oh no. You gonna swim? You gonna swim? Can actually be really quick if you can get him to go. So how long is she? Well, there's my arm. I'm thinking her tail is about a foot long right there. So her tail's actually longer than the rest of her body is. Hey, Gizmo! Yeah! Look, iguanas like to swim. They, unlike bearded dragons, they require a more humid environment, and it's good to have. Oh, she's going backwards. That's kind of funky. It's the current. She's going with the current. They like to have, you need to have water in a little bath for them in their environment. And I saw a video on YouTube where this iguana person had 2 full-grown iguanas taking a bath in a bathtub. So that's what gave me the bathtub idea. And those iguanas would literally walk into the bathroom and climb over the side of the bathtub and get in the water. So iguanas really do like to swim. In fact, if you ever see the movie Godzilla, and you see Godzilla swimming underwater, that's how they swim. In fact, I'm kind of hoping she'll swim for real, and then you can see how she swims. Come on, Gizzy, swim! Swim, swim, swim! There she goes, see that? Just like Godzilla. Yeah. That's just how Godzilla swims in the movie. Yep. They're very fast. It's amazing how fast they are. And when I'm trying to catch her in her terrarium, she jumps. She jumps and she's just lightning fast. Very hard to catch. Aren't you, sweetie? Yeah. I haven't quite figured out her personality yet. You know, she's a lizard. How do you figure out a lizard's personality? Never had a lizard before. But I'll say one thing about her that I really like. Iguanas can do 2 things that are really, really not very fun. They can bite, and when they bite, they have really sharp, pointy teeth that doesn't really do a heck of a lot of damage. But if it breaks the skin, I think with the big iguanas, if they bite, it hurts, and it does do a lot of damage. But even a little one like this, if she bit me and broke the skin, I'd have to do some serious work on that one, because the lizard bites get really, really, really infected, and you can lose your finger. She's asleep. Look at that, she's asleep. Well, as her body temperature cools, now I don't have this water really, really cold. I deliberately have it kind of a cool, but not cold. But her temperature's going down. Backing up here. So she's there. Now she's back to being alert. Oh yeah, there she is. Hi. There's Gizmo. Yeah. She's looking at the camera. Anyway, what was I saying? I forgot. I was talking about, I forgot what I was saying. I totally forgot. Anyway, she likes the water. See, just petting. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Their bite is very bad. If you get bit by an iguana, you can lose your finger or your hand if you don't have immediately take it really seriously and do a lot of things, you know, peroxide and everything you can think of to keep it from getting infected. Another thing that iguanas are good at, especially when they get to be big, is this right here becomes a weapon. It's a weapon right now, and but when she's big, it's a serious weapon. They whip their tails, and they can draw blood with their tails just by whipping their tails. Now, what I was going to say I like about Gizmo here is I've had her for about 4 weeks. I've done this with her maybe 6 times, catching her and putting her in the water and petting her and doing all these things, getting her used to being touched. And this little girl has not ever even so much as, I've seen her brace herself a few times like she's getting ready to run, but she's never opened her mouth. She's never threatened me with any kind of aggressive, you know, I'm going to bite you if you don't stop behavior. She's never whipped her tail at me. No, not even, there's been absolutely no threats from her at all. I think she's a really good little lizard. I think she's a nice girl. I don't think she's going to be a mean lizard. And it's nice when they're this little, you know, if I can get her trust, and I feel like I've got a good start here. At this age, when she's a big lizard, I mean, they get 4 to 6 feet long. She could be really dangerous if she is still afraid of me, and she's still, you know, if she sees me as her adversary, that would not be a very pleasant relationship to have a lizard like that, you know, in your home. That is afraid of you. When they're afraid, that's when they're going to want to do what they can do to protect themselves, which is when they'll bite and whip their tails and stuff like that. So anyway, I don't really know what I'm talking about. This is my first lizard, and I'm just saying what I've read and stuff I've read and watched on YouTube, and just, you know, I was trying really hard to just approach her really slowly in her tank and just go up to her and touch her on the tail and pet her just a little bit and try to earn her trust that way, and it just wasn't going anywhere. So about a week ago I decided that, you know what, this approach isn't working, and so I just made myself catch her, and she ran and ran and ran and jumped all around her tank, and we had this catch, this you know, I had to catch her, and now I've made myself do that every day. And I take her out. We don't always take a bath. Sometimes she just sits in the sun in the bird room, and I hold her in my hand and pet her, and she gets to look at the birds. Or she gets to look at herself in the mirror, you know, and check herself out. But every day we have this little, you see she's kind of rocking a little bit with her body. I think that might be a good positive, that she's enjoying this caress I'm giving her. But this is what we do. We do this every day, and every day it's the same. She runs from me when I put my hand in her tank. But she's a wild animal, and it's not going to happen overnight that she's going to lose her fear. But once I catch her, she's great. And I'll be honest, she's very motionless right now because this is what lizards do when they're, you know, feeling threatened. She's not completely comfortable with me. She feels threatened. She's kind of sort of freezing a little bit, you know. But yeah. Tell you what, when they go from this to running, they move so fast, and it's so totally unexpected. She got away from me the first time I took her out of her thing, and it took me 40 minutes to catch her, and I had to completely take down a whole bunch of things to get to her. So anyway, I just want to make a little video of Gizmo and show her in the water and show the progress we're making. She's had her first molt, so even though it's not really perceptible, she is growing a little bit. Yeah, come here, Gizzy. Gizzy the Lizzie. See, this is her upside down view. Yes. Yeah, she's a good girl. They have really wicked claws too. Yeah, trying to get... Yeah, got some pretty wicked claws. She's had a broken tail, I'm pretty sure. I've read about this, and you see how at the tip, right there, the texture changes? There's a little bit of a... Where is it? A little bit of a bump, and the texture of the tail changes. I don't know if you can see that in the thing, but anyway, that's called when their tail breaks. Somewhere in there is the place where I think the tail has been broken. They have a self-defense where if you grab the tail, they'll run away, and the tail will, you know, it breaks off, and then they just grow another tail. But hey, am I looking at your tail? She's like, what are you doing? And what is that camera? You know, one thing I'm picking up real fast is this is a very smart little animal. I was playing fetch with Haley, and she was actually watching the game. She was in her tank, and she was watching me throw the ball and watching Haley run out. Her head was turning and following the action, and you know, the ball being flung, Haley running out, Haley coming back in. She was in her tank watching the whole thing. She was very interested. I was told that, you know, they have really sweet personalities, and actually bearded dragons apparently have even better personalities, but the problem with them is they require a much hotter tank, and you have to feed them meat. And iguanas, I like the fact that they're vegetarians. They don't eat meat, so don't have to give her any mice. Anyway, this is getting long, so I'm just going to end it. So I just wanted to let people see Gizmo and see what she's up to. And look, I'm holding her. Oh, we're making progress. Thanks for watching. Say goodbye, Gizmo. Goodbye.